Hi, it's me. I'm back. Another video, another thought, another reflection, another contort. Let's find out. Okay, so what's the question today? Question today is, are there any beliefs I've outgrown but still hold on to out of habit? So there were two that came to mind. For me, so I guess this belief, in a weird way, that I'm like a gamer, right? That I'm like a video gamer, okay? So it's not like a straightforward answer to this question, but I'm like I'm a recovering video game addict. I've talked about this in another video. And I don't know if I really enjoy video games anymore. I don't know if it's because my dopamine receptors are just kind of numb to it now because I've played so much historically, but like I don't really enjoy them that much. Like in the evening, like I don't even play video games that much anymore, really. Like I've really got off them recently, and there's an interesting correlation between like the improvement of my mental health and taking care of my physical body a bit better and the decrease in video games. So now I'm kind of thinking, I have some spare time. I'd like to go for a walk instead of, I have some spare time. Maybe I'll play Oblivion or Fable or Skyrim, something, whatever game I've got kicking around. It was just an interesting thing I kind of noticed because I guess I feel my wife's now like leaning more into the gaming ideology, and now like I'm leaning less into it, and it's a really interesting contrast because like, man, like that was me previously, and like I still play it a little bit sometimes, but I kind of have like a rule for myself that like if I'm in my work day, I just don't play video games. Full stop. No video games. And like I in theory have time to play video games. Like I stagger my days out, most of my days apart from Sunday, to have like breaks, so I can go and like hang out not working, get some outside time, check my plants, go for a walk, just kind of sit with myself for a bit. But like I don't even play video, like very often I'll work from like 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Those are my normal work days. I have hours, off, blotted in between. Some days I start earlier, some days I start a bit later. But I don't really play a ton of video games because, like, I say to myself, like, if I get stuck in video games, I'm going to be dysregulated for my work, or I'm going to be avoiding some emotions or something like that. Like, why can't I sit with myself? Because if I can't sit with myself when I'm in session with a client, I'm certainly going to struggle to sit with them, and then the whole work day's going to suck. So I'm kind of playing the tape through. So this is like a common addiction counseling technique called playing the tape through, where when you think about taking an addictive action, you think, okay, so what's going to come after the addictive action? How am I going to feel? What am I going to think about myself? And how's a decent amount of time after this most likely going to play out? Because if you're an addict like I am, you've got a lot of experience with how you feel during and after video game sessions. So the train of thought in my head often goes, well, I'm going to play video games and then I'm not going to feel anything for a bit, which might in the moment be a bit of a relief. But then ultimately I'll come back and have to immediately rush upstairs to start a session, and then I'm going to feel really not present, and I'm going to struggle to pay attention, and I'm going to just feel off my game, off guard, disconnected, and it's going to suck for me. Might be okay for them if I just listen, right? But like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be present. I want to be enjoying my work. It feels meaningful to me, and I like it. So if I'm not taking care of myself, I can't do that. So this like belief that like I can't control and regulate my video game habits is kind of something that still floats around my head sometimes. Something I get really anxious about when I think about interacting with video games. When I see my wife playing a video game, I'm kind of like, ooh, I don't know, man. It's bit of anxiety in me. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. But like, you know, recent history would certainly suggest that I'm okay with like, I can like turn the game off at a reasonable time. You know, I'm not going to play till like 5 or 6 a.m. Like, it'll come up to like 11. I'm like, yeah, bedtime. I want to go to bed now, or my wife will go to bed, and it's really helpful for me for her to set the example that you can go to bed at a reasonable time, and that's because she's just really tired because she works really hard, and I really appreciate that about her. But it's good to have a model to say, hey, you now is a good time to go to bed. 10, 11, 12. That's a really normal, healthy time to go to bed. So for me, I guess the belief that maybe I hold on to out of habit is this idea of being a gamer, because I think it gives me a type of community. It gives me a feeling of kind of connectedness in a way, a culture, right? So I kind of hold on to this. Also, like a lot of my relationships with my friends, most of my friends are based around video games. Like a lot of my friends play a lot of video games. A lot of my friends are like, hey, you want to come play this video game with me? And like, I had this friend ages ago when I went back to MapleStory for a little bit, and I got on a call with him to like talk about MapleStory. I just felt profoundly uncomfortable. And I reflected on this like discomfort. He just said, yo, you want to just like chat in VC? And I used to do this loads with friends. Like I used to loads. That was like my life for like most of my teen years and early 20s. And now I'm like, oh, I don't want to go back here. I don't want to be a part of this. But I also want community. So I'm like really conflicted. And then like sometimes I'll go in like situations where I'm with people that aren't video game addicts, and I'll feel out of place because they won't like understand what it's like to be in that. But also I don't want to like be in that more because I don't want to like threaten a relapse. Oh, it's hard. It's hard, man. It's hard. So I guess the belief that I'm a gamer is like not really a thing, and I kind of do it a little bit out of habit to be social and reasonable. Agreeable is probably a better word than reasonable. And ultimately it kind of has me a little on edge, because I know what my relationship with video games is and was. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. And I want to be moving forward. I really just want to be in a good direction. And I guess the other belief that I hold on to, this is like less and less apparent, but I would say probably self-judgment about my body image. When I'm like out and about, like if a t-shirt's a little short, I'm kind of gross, and people don't want to see my belly because I still have a belly. I'm working on it, but that belly that pokes out the bottom makes me feel great shame when I see like pictures of myself with my belly kind of just poking out a little bit underneath the t-shirt. So when I'm walking out and about, I kind of think I'm gross. People don't want to see a fat belly in a t-shirt like poking out of the bottom. So let's like try and hide that, be really like aware of how seen that is. So I guess the belief is that like my body's gross, but it's like it's interesting though, because I think it's mainly my belly I feel shame for. My face and upper body, no problem. Like, I don't think I'm like super hot or nothing, but like I think I'm okay looking. I think I'm fine. And I'm happy with my personality mostly. I think there's still things I can improve on, but like I think overall I got a pretty good set of values. I know what they are. I know where I'm going. I know why I'm doing it. But like, yeah, I just have the shame around the tummy and being a larger fellow. It makes me a little more self-conscious. It makes me less present sometimes. That's been less and less recently, right? And I've been like working on myself. My mental health's been improving, so I've been less in my head about that being visible. I went for like an hour walk this morning, and that wasn't really in my head at all. I said hello, good morning to people as I walked by. I was like, morning. As I walked by, a little bit of a farmer as I went along. And it was lovely. It was lovely to be out with people, out in the sun, early in the morning before it gets like at the peak of the heat of the day. I really enjoyed that walk. It felt great. But like, I guess, and this is becoming less and less common, which is good for me. I feel I'm like on the right path. But being more self-conscious and aware of like how much of me is visible, right? Like stomach. Don't like my stomach. If that's more visible, I'm more uncomfortable, because I guess the belief is that like my stomach is disgusting, and I'm working on that, and like it's less big, it's less gross, I'm losing weight. So in a way I haven't like totally outgrown it, but like I've also done a lot more, I guess, body awareness and accepting of my body. So I think almost that pulling down of the t-shirt is kind of a habit, right? So I think there's less apparent disgust, but it's kind of like, ooh, like a habit. I just pull my t-shirt down. I know the big dudes do this. I see you other big dudes out in public pulling your t-shirts down. I get it, man. I feel that too. But I'm kind of outgrowing it slowly. So it's interesting that the video game addict and the big belly kind of on different places in the development, but interesting beliefs to reflect on. But we have reached time again. How does another video conclude so quickly? You've been wonderful. I've been Will, and I will see you in the next video.